International trade is a delicate balance, shaped by a web of agreements, supply chains, and economic interests that span the globe. Every day, millions of goods cross borders, connecting factories, workers, and consumers in ways that are often invisible but essential to modern life. But sometimes countries decide to impose tariffs, taxes on imports, aiming to protect their own industries from foreign competition or to gain leverage in trade negotiations. These measures can have ripple effects far beyond their borders. In early 2025, the Trump administration announced sweeping tariffs targeting the automotive sector, including imports from close allies like Canada. The move sent shockwaves through the global auto industry, raising questions about the future of cross-border manufacturing. The goal was clear: bring car production back to the US and shield American jobs from overseas competition. Supporters argued it would revive domestic manufacturing and strengthen the economy. For global car makers like Honda, with factories and workers spread across North America, this was a major disruption. Their business model depended on the free flow of parts and vehicles across borders. Suddenly, cars and parts crossing borders faced steep new costs, threatening the efficiency of their integrated supply chains. What once took days could now take weeks, with added expenses at every step. A Honda assembled in Canada now faced a hefty tax entering its biggest market, the US, undermining years of cross-border investment and planning. The rules of the game had changed overnight. The tariffs forced Honda to reconsider its entire North American strategy, as the financial hit was too big to ignore. Executives scrambled to assess the impact and explore possible responses. The modern auto industry relies on parts and assembly, spread across countries. These new trade walls ignored that reality. Decades of integration and cooperation were suddenly at risk. Honda and others now faced a tough choice: absorb the costs, pass them on to consumers, or overhaul their operations to fit the new rules. Each option carried risks for jobs, prices, and competitiveness. The era of seamless North American car manufacturing was suddenly in jeopardy, leaving the future of the industry and the workers who depend on it uncertain. Under mounting pressure from newly imposed tariffs, Honda made a bold and strategic move in May 2025, shifting production of its popular CR-V from the long-standing Alliston, Ontario plant to its US facilities in Indiana and Ohio. This decision wasn't made lightly. It was a direct response to the rapidly changing trade environment between the US and Canada, and it signaled a major shift in Honda's North American operations. This wasn't just a minor adjustment, it was a sweeping realignment, upending decades of investment, jobs, and expertise that had been built up in Canada's auto sector. The move sent shockwaves through the local workforce and the broader Canadian manufacturing community. By building CR-Vs for the US market within American borders, Honda could sidestep the new import taxes, protecting its bottom line and ensuring its vehicles remained competitively priced for American consumers. This was a calculated effort to maintain market share in a fiercely competitive industry. The Alliston plant, once a symbol of Canadian manufacturing strength and innovation, now faced an uncertain future. Its production lines slowed, and the community that depended on the plant braced for tough times ahead. Honda's decision was a clear demonstration of how quickly government policy can force even the largest corporations to rethink their strategies and adapt to new realities. The North American auto market, once unified by decades of free trade agreements, was now fracturing under the weight of political and economic pressures. The seamless flow of goods and jobs across borders was no longer guaranteed. To handle the increased workload, Honda's Indiana plant also took on Civic hatchback production, consolidating even more jobs and manufacturing capacity in the United States. This shift meant new opportunities for American workers, but deep uncertainty for their Canadian counterparts. CEO Toshihiro Mibe acknowledged that the tariffs were highly disruptive, but emphasized that Honda's top priority was reorganizing its operations to limit financial damage and keep the company strong in a volatile market. The move also highlighted just how vulnerable global supply chains are to sudden policy changes. What once seemed stable and predictable could be upended almost overnight, affecting every link in the chain. For Canada, it was a sobering warning. Political winds can shift rapidly, and when they do, entire industries and communities can be changed forever. The bad news for Canada didn't stop with the CR-V move. The country, which had been positioning itself as a key player in the North American auto industry, was suddenly facing a much bigger challenge. Honda also postponed an $11 billion plan to build new electric vehicle and battery plants in Ontario, a project that would have anchored Canada's EV future and signaled a new era for the country's manufacturing sector. The announcement sent shockwaves through the industry, as many had expected this investment to put Canada at the forefront of the global EV race. Officially, Honda blamed slow EV market growth, but the timing suggested U.S. tariffs played a big role. The uncertainty created by shifting trade policies made it difficult for companies to commit to massive long-term projects. The investment would have created thousands of high-tech jobs and a full EV supply chain in Canada. It would have meant new opportunities for engineers, technicians, and suppliers across the country, boosting local economies and strengthening Canada's position in the global market. Now, that vision was on hold, and the risk of future U.S. trade penalties made long-term planning nearly impossible. Companies were left wondering if their investments would be protected or if new barriers would emerge overnight. The delay was a blow to Canada's economic ambitions and a stark reminder of how international politics can derail domestic plans. It highlighted just how vulnerable even the most promising projects can be to forces beyond a country's control. Government incentives and Canada's skilled workforce weren't enough to offset the uncertainty. Despite strong support from both public and private sectors, the environment was simply too unpredictable for such a massive commitment. The postponed project left a major gap in Canada's EV strategy. Without this anchor investment, the country's plans for a homegrown EV industry faced significant setbacks and delays. For Canadian leaders, it was a sobering lesson. Even the best-laid plans can be upended by global trade tensions. The experience forced policymakers to rethink how to attract and retain major investments in an unpredictable world. The dream of a Canadian EV hub was suddenly in limbo, leaving many to wonder when, or if, it would ever become a reality. Honda's investment pause hit Canada's $15 billion EV industry plan hard. The government had hoped to leverage its mineral resources and incentives to build a full mines-to-mobility supply chain. Honda's project was a cornerstone, and its delay left a major hole. Meanwhile, the U.S. ramped up its own EV incentives and imposed new tariffs, making Canada less attractive for automakers. Without anchor investments, Canada's EV ambitions look shaky. The setback sends a worrying signal to other potential investors. Competing with U.S. subsidies and penalties is an uphill battle. Canada's EV future now hangs in the balance, vulnerable to forces beyond its control. The financial fallout for Honda was swift and severe. In the first half of 2025, tariffs slashed Honda's operating profit by $1.1 billion. Currency swings added another $756 million in losses, compounding the pain. Overall, Honda's profit dropped 37% from the previous year, a dramatic hit for a global giant. The company slashed its annual profit forecast by 64%, bracing for a tough road ahead. Investors took note. The impact of tariffs and currency shocks wasn't going away soon. While Honda's motorcycle division posted record sales, it wasn't enough to offset the car business losses. The real story, even strong global sales couldn't make up for the profit drain caused by tariffs. Honda's experience was a warning to all automakers about the risks of political and economic volatility. The bottom-line trade policy can make or break even the biggest players. As Honda battled tariffs, a new crisis hit. A global chip shortage triggered by geopolitical tensions. In late 2025, the Dutch government seized control of Nexperia, a Chinese-owned chipmaker, sparking retaliation from Beijing. China blocked chip shipments, disrupting supply chains worldwide. Honda's Mexico plant was forced to halt production, and U.S. and Canadian plants slowed down to conserve chips. No end date was in sight, leaving operations in limbo. The incident exposed the fragility of global manufacturing. One political dispute could halt factories continents away. For Honda, it was a perfect storm. Tariffs squeezed profits, and chip shortages crippled output. The risks of global business had never been clearer. The lesson: supply chains are only as strong as the weakest political link. Amid the turmoil, Honda promised not to cut jobs or production at its Alliston, Ontario plant. The company pledged to assign new work to offset the lost CRV line, hoping to reassure workers and the community. But uncertainty lingered. What would replace the CRV? And would it be enough? The move put Canada's new Prime Minister Mark Carney under pressure to protect jobs and economic interests. Honda's decisions became an early test of his leadership and ability to manage US-Canada trade tensions. The government faced tough questions: how to keep Honda's promises, prevent more losses, and revive Canada's EV ambitions. The outcome would shape public confidence in the new administration. For workers and politicians alike, the stakes had never been higher. Tariffs, production shifts, and supply chain shocks have thrown North America's auto industry into chaos. Honda's moves are part of a larger trend. Automakers are rethinking cross-border manufacturing as protectionism rises. Canada now faces an uphill battle to attract investment and keep its EV dreams alive. Aggressive incentives and diplomatic efforts may be needed to stay in the game. Honda, meanwhile, must adapt to survive, balancing tariffs, chip shortages, and the shift to electric vehicles. The company's future depends on resilience and innovation in a volatile world. The story is a case study in how politics and business collide, reshaping entire industries. The fate of car manufacturing in North America is being rewritten in real time. Will protectionism win, or will cooperation return? For now, uncertainty is the only constant as the industry navigates a rapidly changing landscape.